Can you hear me now? Testing. 1, 2. Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. Okay, okay. Were you able to hear me all this time or you wasn't able to hear anything? I hopefully did you hear me speaking about this rabies report? Let me know because I want to make sure I share what the health department said. So you still can't hear me. Wow, what is going on that you're not able to hear me? Oh man. So, but you can hear me now. Well, Kenny, I may need your assistance real quick. Okay. Am I going in and out? Can you hear me now though? Okay, you can hear me now. All right, perfect. Okay. Yes. Well, I wanted to jump right in this real quick because I got two communications from the health department, and I wanted to just go ahead and jump right into these. And the first one was in regards to rabies. And you guys, believe it or not, this is not the first communications for this for Pasco County this year. This is the second one. And this particular one is now in East Pasco. So I think it was a little further out the first time. So it's definitely traveled. So I wanted to put this out and I'll be placing it on social media tomorrow. But the Florida Department of Health in Pasco County is monitoring rabies among wild animals in the area. This is in response to two confirmed cases of rabies in raccoons that were on the east side of Pasco County on July 30th, 2026. All residents and visitors should be aware that rabies may be currently present in the wild animal population. So, people and domestic animals should always avoid physical contact with animals such as raccoons, bats, foxes, skunks, other otters, bobcats, and coyotes. These animals carry a higher risk of human exposure and a need for rabies post exposure treatment. So if you've had any exposure with these animals, sometimes the raccoons can get in your trash, get in your yard, and there's been some sightings of coyotes, in residential areas. And so if you've been in any contact with them, you should contact the health department. If you need information on how to get in contact with them, email PascoConnect@gmail.com. I can give you direct contact information, including this letter they've sent out. And so they did present some precautions to prevent this, such as immunize your pets and your livestock. You know, there are some people down the street with some chickens. So some of us actually have little farms going on in the backyard, and so they're asking you to take these precautions. Keep your pets under direct supervision and on the leash. You can't just let them out into the yard without your supervision or without you being very close to them and having them leashed up because of this happening. And animals begin to act erratic, you know, um, when these things happen. So, yeah, this is the first thing that they've sent out that I got that I got today. This was at 4:47 today. So now earlier this morning, what was sent out was in regards to mosquito-borne illnesses. So this was sent out earlier this morning, and I wanted to at least go ahead and share this. So, the Florida Department of Health in Pasco County advises residents that there has been an increase in mosquito-borne disease activity in areas of Pasco County. Several sentinel chickens have tested positive for West Nile virus infection. The Department of Health in Pasco and Pasco County mosquito control continue surveillance and prevention efforts. The DOH Pasco reminds the community to avoid being bitten by mosquitoes by taking these basic precautions, such as follow the drain and cover principles. So, drain standing water around the homes, around businesses at least once a week, including your flower pots, buckets, bird baths, pet water bowls, gutters, tarps, pool covers, anything that collects water. And then they want you to cover your exposed skin by wearing long sleeves. I know it's hot, so that may be kind of difficult, but considering, the alert that they put out, which is a precaution, please govern yourselves accordingly. And yeah, so I'll be putting out these two communications tomorrow. Um, on the Facebook page because they just came in today. I just said, you know what? I'll share them tonight during the community talk, and then I'll add them on to the page tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that, and please govern yourselves accordingly. And so, yeah, I want to make sure that everyone's aware of the election that's coming up in August, which we're basically in now. It's July 30th. And so you have vote by mail. The last day to request the vote by mail ballot is August 6th. So you still have time to do that. Early voting is going to begin August 8th through August 15th. So if you want to take advantage of that, between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., there's 12 locations throughout the county, and you can go in and participate in early voting. And then on election day, there'll be assigned polling places, and those are the only places that you'll be able to vote on election day. So you want to make sure you have your photo ID with the signature. That is how you'll be able to vote. So I'll be posting this as well tomorrow, and I'll be trying to post this regularly just so we can all be aware. And I just came from this conversation with Faith in Florida this evening. Marlo Jones, he's a community organizer with Faith in Florida. He often holds these conversations to keep us updated on what's going on in the community as far as the policies that are shaping our community, making us aware of who's making these policies and how we can be in contact and communication with them. And so, what's at stake? The decisions made today shape our communities tomorrow. This took place tonight at 6. It may still be kind of going on, but yeah, what's on the line? Our community, jobs, wages, and cost of living, our health care, access to it, being able to afford it, the coverage, our education, quality of schools and funding, our community safety, resources, and opportunity, our democracy, voting rights, and fair representation. So, we got a few updates tonight. There was Larry with Pasco Resist sharing about some upcoming debates that Voices and Votes are putting on. And then another young woman that's a part that comes in, she shares about um, the oh, what is it? Man, it's slipping my mind. But basically, they put a momentarium on or a pause on these data centers. That's what it is. So she kind of gave an update on that. And then what else were we in? Oh, I shared about the property taxes, gave an update on that, but you know, someone was speaking about the importance of voting and just utilizing your voice and taking that opportunity to vote. So once again, August, we have a big election. I know it's not that November election that everyone is so used to hearing about, but this election is just as important. So there's a few things that'll be going on the ballot that you should be aware of, and conversations like this with Faith in Florida is how you learn about those things. It's how you learn about what's going to be on the ballot, and who are the candidates that's up for election. And um, there'll be a few uh, forums coming up, and they've been going on. These forums have been taking place throughout Pasco County, several of them, and we've been reporting on them. And so you can also check out our blog, PascoConnect.blogspot.com. And on there, you'll see uh, some of the articles on different candidates and some of the events that's been taking place. So definitely check that out. Um, yeah, and on our page. Okay, I did have someone to come in, I guess. Jose. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. If at any time you would like to speak, just let me know. I'll definitely bring you up. And so, you know, um, we did get a few reports that came in. Oh, before I go there, there is a few other things I would like to discuss. 1 second as I bring that up. Yeah. Yeah. So, speaking of these forums, we have a Pasco School Board candidate Zoom forum August 3rd, 6 p.m. to 8:30. Meet the candidates. You'll be able to ask questions, get answers, and make informed decisions. So there'll be a Zoom. Um, you can register by scanning that QR code. Scan that QR code, and that's going to be the Pasco School Board Candidate Forum. And that's coming up. That's right around the corner, August 3rd. So that's one of the big elections that's taking place right now. And the school board is very important. It's shaping the way the school is run. It's the policies that's shaping how the school is run. And so, who is doing that is important to know who they are, what they believe, what they stand for. And this is how you learn that. And if there are things going on within your school, that you recognize you're a parent, you may be a teacher, you may work in administration, These are the conversations to be a part of, or the forums to come in and just listen. You don't have to be on your camera. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is come in and um, listen. Hey, Marlo, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm still getting used to seeing these comments here. Glad everyone can hear me now. But yeah, I was just speaking about tonight's conversation a little while ago. What's at stake? Talking, just kind of giving a rundown of what was spoken about and the importance of the Faith in Florida conversations that happen. For a couple of years now, Marlo has been putting on forums and debates and listening sessions so the community can have a place to come in and speak. And then having, commissioners and mayors and different ones come in and listen to what the people say. So Faith in Florida is a good organization to follow. Marlo Jones is a good person to follow on Facebook. If you're like, I just don't really know what's going on. I try to stay up to date, but it's so much going on. I just don't really know. These are the places that I go to so that we could just cut through everything and I can just get the information that I need. I try to stay in these conversations and in these forums so that I can get good, solid information. So, yeah. So that's taking place. See here. I think it's a couple of more things going on. See here. There's one more thing that I think I needed to share. Yeah. So meet the candidate. You're invited to this forum and a campaign Q&A with Chris King. He's running for Pasco County School Board District 1. So Saturday, August 8th, he'll be at the Hugh Embry Library in that meeting room that's in Dade City. So from 2:30 to 5 p.m., he will be there and you can meet him and learn about him. Um, Honestly, he has a page here on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can follow those pages for Chris King for Pasco County School Board. And you can literally just see all of the things that he's involved in and the endorsements and the people that's endorsed him for his candidacy for school board. You may just be running by his name and say, well, what have he done? If you simply just go through his page, you will see and learn. And a lot of times, once you get the name of a candidate, you can simply Google or get on social media and type their name in and at least learn the quick little basics. And then you can see, okay, well, they'll be here speaking. And don't be afraid to just show up, sit in the back, take a seat in the back. Usually they have some snacks or something out, some water or something, and you can just listen. Hey, if it's something you've been wanting to talk about and share, you can say that. Y'all, I can't do two things at one time. I'm trying to respond back to something. My bad. But yeah, so I'll be posting this as well. And I hope you can attend this. I wonder if it'll be virtual as well. It doesn't seem to say that. I don't know if I'll be able to get all the way out there to Days City, but um, hopefully, I can get someone that can be there and get some good notes and things like that because I would love to be there though. So, yeah, that's two separate things going on. I think but for this one, you'll be able to meet multiple candidates on the 3rd. And then on the 8th, you can come in and personally meet Christopher King and have an opportunity to further get more information about his candidacy and his campaign. So, yeah, that's what's up with that. So, you know what? Speaking of which, I think I had one more additional thing to go over as far as upcoming events. I did hear Marlo speak about this during the What's at Stake meeting this evening, a save the date for Black History National Training. And this is a training opportunity. So, August 12th, August 13th, August 14th, and August 15th, there'll be some trainings. There's a few QR codes. You'll see them on the screen. You can scan them. If you want this flyer or more information, you can email me, PascoConnect at gmail.com. I'll send you that and whatever information. And yeah, there are some people that say, hey, I want to learn more. And so here are some opportunities to do that. Okay. So govern yourselves accordingly. All right. So we're moving right along into the Anderson Stallworth report. So every Thursday, certain people may not be able to attend or come on, and that's fine. Look, there's been plenty of information given. So that's exactly what we're about to go over. There's been a lot happening out there in East Pasco, Wesley Chapel area. So we're going to go over some things that's been going on, some events that's been taking place there over in Wesley Chapel. And so the Anderson Stallworth report is by Valerie Anderson Stallworth. She works with a lot of organizations and attends a lot of events. And so she's going to be covering them and sharing them with us so we can know what's going on all throughout Pasco. So this annual event brought together artists, musicians, poets, fashion designers, and performers for a celebration of creativity unlike any other. Among the featured artists was Pasco County fashion designer Monique Chappelle Caston of Moet's Goodies and Gifts, whose breathtaking wearable art, including a stunning handcrafted peacock feather design, captivated audiences throughout the weekend. Scan Art Show continues to provide opportunities for local artists to showcase their talents while fostering creativity, education, and community collaboration. So mark your calendars now. The next event, July 16th through 17th, 2027. Oh, and the theme is going to be the new decade. I like that. I like that. The new decade. So, yeah, they had a nice fashion show out there showcasing some beautiful art through fashion. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let me see if I have any more pictures. Yeah. These are more from the show. Okay. What y'all think? I think it's good opportunity for artists, you know, to be able to showcase their art. And I think it's wonderful that we had a Pasco designer there representing their art. And so there's Miss Valerie in the middle from the Anderson Starworth report. She's there with her two beautiful daughters. And so, yeah, that sounds exciting. Exciting. I think that's the peacock design that was mentioned in the article. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So, yeah, that took place. Let's see where else Miss Valerie attended. Okay, we see these ladies in their red, white, and blue. So, this event highlights the new Tampa Women's Connection, where women from throughout the Tampa Bay area recently gathered to celebrate freedom and liberty. 250 years of America during their monthly luncheon at Tampa Palms Golf and Country Club. So, a lot of times when they say Tampa Bay area, they include Pasco in there. So, hosted by the new Tampa Women's Connection, a local outreach of Stonecroft Ministries. The event brought together women of diverse backgrounds for great food, patriotic music, inspirational speakers, fellowship, and community. Looking ahead, the group is inviting the community to its August Flamingos Vendor Fair, where attendees can shop local vendors while enjoying an afternoon of fun and connection. So there is a pre-registration required for that, and vendor opportunities are still available. So if you want more information, you can contact Val at valanderson2010 at gmail.com, or you can visit Stonecroft Ministries. So I did put all of that information is up on our page as well as on our blog at PascoConnect.blogspot.com. So yeah, they look like they had a swell time. Yep. Looked like it was a nice turnout too. Nice turnout. And so, yeah, vendors out there, I definitely feel like this would be a great event to look into vending. If that's something that you're into, I think this would be a good something to do in the community. I know sometimes people are looking for uh, vending opportunities because they have small businesses or crafts that they're doing, or something they want to bring awareness to. So, if you want more information on that, I can definitely get it to you. Email Val Anderson, VALANDERSON 2010 at gmail.com. All right. Once again, we're into the Anderson Starworth report, brought to you by Valerie Anderson Starworth. She's reporting from East and Central Pasco. So, yeah, let's see what else she's been getting into lately. So Back to School Bash was a success in Wesley Chapel. Um, at the Wiregrass Mall, more than 15,000 families came together for fun, learning, and community support. There were over 150 vendors in attendance, and families received educational resources. There were free activities and health services, including pediatric dental screenings from Premier Community Healthcare. And so, yeah, events like this, they demonstrate the power of community partnerships in helping children start the school year healthy, confident, and prepared for success. So Premier is really doing a lot in the community. They were just out in Hudson, and there they really helped, hundreds of families. I think it was the biggest one that I ever attended. And so here they are here at Wiregrass Mall, out there doing the same thing. And so, this is a big deal for parents with kids, and they're getting ready to go back to school, and things have been tough over the summer. You going over the food budget and every other budget, and so now it's back to school time, and you have to pull money for back to school items and clothes and all of the things that you're going to need to make sure they're successful. It helps to have these events that you can go in and get as much as you can and then say, okay, now what's left that I have to go and get so I don't have to spend as much money. So I think there are a few more left. We may end up talking about, I know it was a few that have already taken place. But if you're somebody out there still looking, I think this is one of the last ones that I've seen. So Saturday, August 1st from 11 to 3, there's the Stuff the Bus. So if you're somebody out there that can donate, their Sonic is going to be hosting this on Ridge Road 6919, and you can go in there and get you a 99-cent corn dog. And you may not have children, your kids may be adults. But if you have a way that you can get some extra school supplies and donate them, um, that's going to benefit Ritchie Elementary School. So definitely take advantage of that. Shout out to Premier Health and Val with the Anderson Stallworth report. So she may be able to pop in later on if we're still here. She had a previous engagement, but yeah, we've been getting some good reports coming out of West, East, and Central Pasco. And so I'm very thankful to Valerie for stepping up and becoming a reporter for PascoConnect magazine. So she'll be reporting from over there, sharing events. She went live from the Rock the Vote with Stephanie Vasquez the other evening. And so we learned about some of the candidates that were out there. They were doing some karaoke, so they have a lot of fun events, just to get you involved in the community and to learn more about the candidates. So, yeah, we'll be getting a report every Thursday. So, we'll be here every Thursday, 7 p.m. We'll be getting a Star Wars report. So, let's see here what else I had left to discuss. Oh, my word. We're just going through everything so quickly this evening. You know, I had shared this evening about the latest in the property taxes and things like that. And, you know, honestly, I have gone and spoken with Mike Fasano. I've gotten his feedback. I put it out there. I shared the community's response. And a lot of people were making a lot of good points that even had me thinking about some things. You know, I did see some comments basically saying how the city and the county has overspent in certain areas. And they've gotten all of these new different things that may have not been necessary. And they're like, hey, you all should do what you all tell us to do, which is budget and not overspend. You know, am I still concerned about the fact that there is no contingency plan? Yes, I'm still very concerned about that. You know, however, there have been years and years and years of collecting these taxes. And it's not that all of the taxes are going to go away. Everyone doesn't even qualify for the homestead tax exemption. So there were a lot of good points to be made, and I did learn a lot in the whole discussion. I feel prepared to vote on it. You know, how do you all feel? Do you all feel prepared to vote in this upcoming August election? That's the question on the floor tonight. Do you all feel prepared to vote, or do you feel like you still have questions about things? I would really love to know. And yeah, let's see here. Was there any? These are the, you know, upcoming election date. The actual election date is August 18th. So you still have an opportunity to get informed. You still have an opportunity to get informed. Um, 3 ways to vote for this upcoming election: vote by mail. You have until August 6th by 5 p.m. to mail in that ballot. Early voting begins August 8th until August 15th. You're going to have 12 locations throughout the county to do that. And then election date, August 18th. So, okay, so Regina says, excuse me, I have to research the candidates and topics. Yeah, there's information out there for sure on the different candidates. I mean, just by going to PascoConnect page, we've been talking about it. Um, you can scroll through, there's candidates all throughout the page. And we have a candidate on here tonight. Jose, is there anything you would like to share about your candidacy?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me speak, and thank you for the opportunity for me being here tonight. Um, about my candidacy, what I am running on is to eliminate and fight back against the corruption, against the corporate oligarchs and the big money interests in the Tallahassee state. And unfortunately, we've had a Republican supermajority for far too long. And that Republican supermajority has given away your rights and has allowed these tech companies and these large corporations to just stomp all over the Floridian people. And unfortunately, both parties are not doing enough about it. That's why I'm jumping into this race. There was no Democrat jumping in this race prior to me. I qualified to get on the ballot the day of the deadline. because I am passionate and I have the drive to get myself to fight for the Floridian people because that's who I care about and that's everything. Um, in terms of events for my campaign on August 9th, from 2 to 3:30 at the Newport Richie Rec Center and Aquatic Center, we are having our campaign launch party. We don't have a primary. We're heading straight to the general election against Brad Yeager, and there will be food, there'll be music, drinks, anything. Everybody here is invited. I hope to see you all there. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Are you okay if I ask you one or two quick questions?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Okay, so what seat again are you running for?
Florida State House of Representatives and District 56.
District 56. And what area again is that kinda?
That is the new, so it goes all the way up towards the beginning of Hudson and
Mhm.
all the way down through Jasmine Estates, Newport Richie, Port Richie, and all the way down to Holiday into the Pinellas County line. And then
Oh,
from the east of it, it's separated by Little Road. So Little Road to the west of it is District 56.
okay, okay. Now, I did hear you speak about no one was running at the time when you first decided to run. What do you mean by that?
Well, what is going on is the Florida Democratic Party is leaving the people of Florida behind. Nobody decided to run because they think it's a unwinnable seat. They think that the Republican establishment is too strong in Florida to fight back. And quite frankly, I think that's ridiculous. I believe that is ridiculous, and they were just going to allow the Republican to have that seat. Nobody had jumped in the race. Nobody had tried to qualify. Nobody had tried to file to run. Nothing. There was crickets from people trying to run, and that's why I decided to go because the people of District 56 deserve to have a voice and deserve to have a choice in a vote.
And so now is somebody running now against you?
No, ma'am. It is just I'm heading straight to the general election, and we're just
Mhm.
running against the Republican incumbent Brad Yeager. I'm the only
Okay.
Democrat in the race.
Well, it's like I don't really hear any Democratic Party speaking about your campaign. Is there a reason for that?
Well, it unfortunately it's the state house is not a big race in general. A lot of people in Florida, just regular Joe Schmoes, don't know what their state representatives do. And
Mhm.
I think it's not a purposeful not talking about my campaign from the Democratic Party, but I just believe that it's the race and the seat that I'm running for is just so unwell known
Mhm.
that people aren't going to be talking about it. But that's why I'm here to talk about this stuff because people deserve to know. People deserve to know that they have a state representative who's passing laws in Tallahassee that affects their district, that affects their family, and that's why I'm here. That's why I believe maybe nobody's really been talking about the campaign as much. I've been trying to get out into the face, talk to other candidates, talk to Democratic Party leaders, talk to Republicans, talk to constituents, anything.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about what the seat does in the community. Like, what does this impact the seat that you're going for?
Okay. So the Florida State House and the seat that I am running for specifically, state representatives, they pass laws that affect the entire state, not just their district. Now
Mhm.
they will go there to represent their district and advocate on behalf of their constituents, just like the uh, federal Congress. But what we are seeing is the politicians, not just Republicans or Democrats, just politicians in Tallahassee have gained a monopoly of information where they don't allow people to know what's going on, what their representative does, right? And because of that, when they pass draconian laws that affect Black and Brown people, that laws that round up Latin communities, immigrant communities, migrant communities, when they're gutting education in our public school sectors, when they're giving vouchers to these private schools from our and allocating that money from our public school system, these are the laws that affect every district, not just the district that I'm running for. And the representative will vote on these bills, they'll either vote or not vote on these bills, and then have to come back to their constituency. And unfortunately, what we're seeing is, and especially in my district, is the representative will vote against the interests of his constituency and then come back and not meet with the people. So then, and this is what I was talking about with the monopoly of information. Because you're not meeting with your constituents, because you're not talking to them, because you're not listening to their grievances, you then are able to manipulate the story and just ride on by. I think that's ridiculous. And the reason why I'm jumping in this is because I believe that every politician at every level, local, state, federal, must always continue campaigning even after the election. And what do I mean by that? When I say continue campaigning, is continue being out in the streets, continue knocking on doors, asking your constituents, hey, what is going on in this area? What issues you have? What can I bring to Tallahassee? What can I bring to Washington? What can I bring to the local county level, right? That's what I'm talking about. We need to have transparency. We need to have someone who listens. We need someone who fights for the constituents. And we cannot, we cannot afford to have this monopoly of information being kept away from the Florida people. That is that leads to an unhealthy democracy. That leads to authoritarianism. That leads to these draconian laws that we see in the Tallahassee state legislature. And because people don't know who their state representative is, they don't know how to affect and fight back against the laws that are being passed that are against their own interest. And that's why I'm running. I want to educate people. I want to talk to people, and I want to be there because I love the people, and I will always love the people, no matter what. I will never cave to corporate interest, and I will always fight. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do have some few follow-ups because I would just like to learn more, as you're being the only one going up against Brad Yeager, who I think has held the seat for a little while now. And so it's like, yeah, we need to know more about you and what, you stand for, and basically the issues that you will then take to Tallahassee on our behalf. you know um can you share a little bit about that? What are some, maybe one or two things that you may, as soon as you're elected, begin to enact right away?
Yes, absolutely. So with our platform, and I can give you guys the website if anybody else is interested in learning about it and reading it for themselves, is we are pushing for real change that works for the people, works for the working class, not corporate interests. So I am going to be pushing it back against AI data centers that are harming the environment, collecting data on people's information. They are um, leading to this new rise of anti-intellectualism within our schools. Teachers, students are using AI to develop lesson plans, to answer questions, and in doing so, they are not learning anything. We need to fix that. We need to stop these tech companies from divvying up our land and taking it away, because I believe if we lead to this age of anti-intellectualism and the people cannot think for themselves, then society will crumble. A society who cannot think for themselves is no society at all. I'm pushing to stop the bleeding housing crisis. Unfortunately, private equity from Wall Street, like BlackRock, will buy up large sub communities. They'll buy up these suburban areas and then jack up the prices and then have to price people out of their homes. Well, they'll have to look for more affordable housing. And unfortunately, there is none in the state of Florida. So I'm running to protect the affordable housing funds because Republicans and Democrats would take those funds and put it into something else into the budget. It hasn't happened in 6 years, but that is not codified into law. So that means that in any session, either Republicans or Democrats can take those housing funds and put it into something else that isn't going towards that. So we need to codify that into the Florida Constitution to make sure that the I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it, but the housing fund is used to keep people in their homes and not used for overdevelopment. We need to repeal the state ban on rent control because we need to give the ability for communities to have home rule. If a community wants to have rent freezes, rent controls in on their properties, they should have the ability to vote on that, discuss that, and talk about that as a community, not Tallahassee oversight. We need housing for the people. When I'm in there, a big passion project of mine is to push for community owned housing here in Pasco County and in every county. Price for our teachers, nurses, and first responders and service workers, not just luxury development. And we'll streamline the a code approval process for it. And doing that, we will be able to have people thrive in our communities, in Pasco County specifically, where I'm running. That's what we need. We need people to have roofs over their head. They need security. They need financial security. They need health care. I'm running to push for a one system, a one payer system of health insurance, because these health insurance companies,
You there?
could you still
Hello? Uh-oh, I think something may have happened. Give a few seconds, maybe it'll clear up. You all let me know if you can hear me. I wonder if it's my end. Man, that was good. We'll give a few seconds. Let's see if he'll be able to come back in because, you know, I really want to learn more about his candidacy. Oh, thank you, Regina. She says she can hear me. So it may be something on his end that he can kind of clear up really quickly.
can
Let
y'all
me
hear
see.
me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, somebody had called me in the middle of the of my little soapbox speech right there.
Okay.
Right.
Man, it was good too. I'm like, oh man.
But yeah, and unfortunately, what we're seeing is the complete oversight of Tallahassee over all Floridian people. And then Ron DeSantis and the Republicans backing him want to turn right around and say that this is the free state of Florida, but we don't give the option for the people to have home rule, to have their own rent controls, to have housing for the people, to have housing that's priced out for our teachers, nurses, first responders, and service workers. Let me tell y'all about myself. I work at Chipotle. I'm 20 years old. I'm 20 years old and I work at Chipotle and I'm a college student. I had to put my college education to the side because I'm seeing the draconian laws, the corruption, the tech oligarchs. I'm seeing all this buffoonery, to be
Mhm.
fair, in Tallahassee. And I'm putting all my responsibilities that a normal 20-year-old would have to the side to fight for the people because I'm saying no more. I don't want to see a world where my little brother have to be racially discriminated against,
Mhm.
being told that he needs to turn around at a pole or or being told that you have the same issues as somebody all the way down in Citrus County. And that's what I'm fighting for. That was the main reason why I jumped in this race. Because after I saw the redistricting maps, after I saw that, I understood this is what the project is. They're trying to strip away Floridians' rights. They're trying to strip away our rights. They're trying to take away our right to vote, our right to an education, the right to have home rule, to have a community. They want to separate us because they understand that together we are strong. And that's why I'm fighting. That's who I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for the people. My opponent, Brad Yeager, takes a lot of money from insurance companies, and he is the chairman of the insurance subcommittee. He is the insurance and banking subcommittee, which is to have transparency, to bring to fight back against insurance companies, but he takes money from them. Now tell me, how can you fight against a company that's also paying you? You
What
can't.
insurance company is this? You mean housing or like medical?
I believe with Brad Yeager, I would need to look it up again, but I believe
Mhm.
it is housing
Mm,
with him.
okay. Yeah, I
Housing and
would
car
like to look
insurance.
into that. I would like to look into that too, so yeah, I'm gonna start looking into that because that's the first I'm hearing of that. I don't know. I'll have to look into that for sure because um like you're saying, how are you that's like a conflict of interest.
Yes. I
So,
have I have American Integrity Insurance, $1,000 to him. Slide Insurance Holdings, $15,000 to him. As a chairman, you should not be receiving any type of PAC money, any type of corporate PAC money while you're the head of that chair. That is ridiculous, and it is beyond corrupt. And we know it. And then they want to parade that they're passing insurance reforms, and yet we're still having the same issues where insurance companies can wrongfully deny somebody, and yet average Floridians can't afford a lawyer to fight back these wrongful denials. What I'm going to do on the insurance front is I'm going to pass laws that bring accountability first. I will push legislation that requires greater transparency from insurers to publicly answer for increased premium rates and ties to growth related development approvals to real infrastructure and risk mitigation standards. Homeowners over industry. I will push legislation that will strengthen protections for wetlands, springs, and
uh-oh.
water users, including data centers and large scale warehouses. And then we need reforms for the problems they created, the Republicans. The Republican establishment has held the supermajority for the last 30 years. The Republican establishment dug a hole for Florida residents, leaving us susceptible to unfair insurance practices. They push reforms to lower costs, but it is not simply enough. I will support HB 30 that caps annual property insurance by 10 to 15%. There should be a fund that is created to help support the working class and low income families to afford insurance. And if an emergency comes up, they're not left behind. Unfortunately, a lot of Floridians and Americans in general across this country, Americans are being left behind, and the same goes with Floridians. And I'm fighting to bring
You there?
Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Did y'all hear that last part?
Yeah, we did. I had someone in the comment section ask, because I guess the first time you went out, you were speaking about the healthcare system, and they want to know more about what you were going to say about that.
On single payer health insurance.
Maybe that is what you were speaking about. It was right before you went out the first time.
Okay. Da-da-da-da. So I'm what I want to propose is a single payer insurance system and create this healthcare model where one public organization, which would be the Florida government, pays for for Medicaid and medical care for the Floridian people, because medical care is one of the most
Mm, I can't hear. It's going out. He'll be back. Jose, you there? Uh-oh. He may have gotten another call. Oh, we gonna get this answer. We'll give him a few minutes to come back in. Man, I didn't expect this tonight, but this is what's up. To hear from one of the candidates, to come in and really speak from their heart and share their policies. Yeah, he's probably receiving. Oh, she said, I think he's receiving phone calls. Maybe. Oh, yikes. Tea is being spilled because I got to look into some things. I'm going to have to look into a few things for sure. I'm like, wow, because Brad Yeager covers the district we're in. So, you know, um, and I've had an opportunity to speak to him in the past, but I was not allowed to record the conversation. So I didn't have the notes that I needed. I think Jose's back. Let me see.
Hello, y'all. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I genuinely am receiving like so many phone calls all at once, and my do not disturb is not working for some reason.
Oh man, and that's what Regina said too. Are you okay to speak? You got time still a little bit?
Yes, of course. It's not anything important. It's just people are. It's like spam callers calling my phone.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, you were speaking about the one parent system,
One payer system.
one payer. Sorry.
This is to limit the corruption that is being seen from health insurance companies that deny people health coverage. If people are or their premiums are way too high. Their premiums are way too high in the state of Florida and the country. We need a system from the government. We need assistance from the government to help limit and regulate these health insurance companies and rein them in to better prosper the not only the American people but the people of Florida.
Hmm. Okay. Well, yeah. Regina, what did you have any other additional questions? Anybody out there had any questions for Jose? Jose, how can we learn more about your policies and follow you throughout this campaign?
You can look up my name, Jose Freitas, in the on the internet, and you will immediately see our website. It will be Jose Freitas for Florida State House 56. You'll see our social medias there. We have our Facebook, Instagram, and email is all provided on that website. And the website specifically is Freitas for statehouse56.com.
Statehouse56.com. Okay, I'm gonna try to put that in there now and into the comment section. So yeah, but we can speak again, Jose. I would love to do that, to do some follow up with you and then be able to put out something to share about, your policies and your campaign, um, just to get the word out for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you. Anytime,
Yeah,
I'm always available. We can meet up and talk about that. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. This has been awesome. I feel like I've learned a lot and I definitely want to know more about those insurance. money exchanges between our current uh, state house representative. So, I'll definitely follow up with you. But thank you so much for coming on this evening.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good night. Okay. Well, that's what's up. That was really interesting. Wow. I think I've met him a few times as well, um, at a few events, but we hadn't really got a chance to talk. And I really, really hadn't had a chance to just hear, where he stands and what his policies is, but to know we have someone democratic and someone that thinks, and understands, what people are really going through, and they're really ready to take those things to the house, take them to Tallahassee on our behalf. I think that's something we should definitely lend our ear to and give an opportunity to. You know, it's just weird to me that sometimes you can hear a lot from the Democratic Party on certain Democrats, and then others you don't hear anything. It's crickets. It's like, okay, if they're here with the Democratic Party, why is there no support and no uplifting of this person? So, and I do understand what he was saying at first as far as um some people believe that that seat is just, you're not going to get it. So they don't even try. They don't even look into it. And it shouldn't be that way. If you have somebody that's willing to take on the Goliath, let the David take on the Goliath. Why are you stopping the person from trying? At least, that part about it is something I feel like we do need to look into. We do need to say, hey, all of these seats that we just think, oh, it's no, they just have it in the bag. No, we need to still listen to the people that it's been put into them to take on that fight. Just because others see it as defeat does not mean that that's what someone else will feel. Someone else can look at it and say, I can take it. I can do this. I'm ready for this fight. And we should trust them. We should at least give them the opportunity to take it on. So, yeah, I'm going to follow up and put out a blog post and try to do a whole profile on Jose and get his message out there. And that's what I can do. I can get his message out there, and then it'll be, up to the people, and what they're going to do. So, but yeah, I'm hoping to have more conversations like this with some additional candidates, especially as we hit August. Our next issue, which will be coming out soon, is gonna be dedicated to a lot of the candidates. And so we're gonna be doing some deep dives into them and into their policies and putting it out there for the community, um, so that you all can see and know what it is. I'm going to try to get it out as soon as possible. So we're working on it. I'm grateful to Valerie, Pat, others that are working with me with the magazine, that have started their columns, that submitted, their writings, that advertise with the magazine, that support by subscribing. I appreciate that because that allows me to keep putting it out there, and really the goal is for it to be free. And I do have locations that is there free, but it's not enough, and that's always been the mission, is for, Pasco Connect magazine to be in the community for real. The places that people are really truly at, where they can pick it up and see what's going on in the community and hear the community's voice for real. So, with that being said, you guys, I appreciate your support. I appreciate you tuning in tonight. Those that may catch it later, thank you. Just to share a little bit more about myself and Queen Connect Publishing. Pasco Connect falls up under Queen Connect Publishing, and we have two additional publications: Duval Connect, the Sister Community Magazine, and Factabulas Magazine. And I also have books that have been published, digital stories, subscriptions, ads, and ghostwriting services available if you're somebody out there that wants to share your story. Okay, Jose sent another message. He was saying he's having a campaign launch party at the Newport Richie Rec and Aquatic Center on August 9th from 2 p.m. to 3:30. Okay. And he'll have other candidates there speaking as well. And it's open to the public, and everyone is welcome. So I'm going to definitely put something back out there soon to share as far as this upcoming engagement. And I'm going to do my best to be there. And then I'll be able to really share with you all what's going on. So, um, yeah, I'm going to keep you all posted. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Regina. Said thank you, Candice, for this live to educate our community on important topics and issues. Thank you. I appreciate that. Here's some ways to support. If you're led, if you feel led, here's some ways to support through Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, Venmo. $2 a month for subscriptions. You get all digital copies for free under the Queen Connect Publishing. Um, and then you get half off of the printed copies. And so, yeah, everything goes towards furthering the mission, as well as, yeah, being able to push out the message to the community and pay the ones that support me, that write for the magazine, that submit their articles. This is a way that I'm able to pay them. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. Thank you so much. This has been a wonderful, wonderful stream. I need you to help me log in to that account. What account? What account? I need you to help me log into that account. What account, Miss Regina? I don't know. What account? You have to let me know. We'll have to chat about it. Because I don't know. But nevertheless, I appreciate everybody's support. There are people that really truly support me for nothing. They don't want anything back. They just say thank you, for doing this. And I've had people over the years to do that, with Pasco Connect, or they find other ways to support. And I appreciate that. That really helps. She said we would chat. Okay, yes, ma'am. I'm going to call and check in with you tomorrow. I'm getting ready to turn it in. Battery about to die on my laptop per usual. I was telling my son about that. I'm like, soon as I go to streaming, my laptop wanna die. But nevertheless, I still appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back next Thursday. If you have events or topics, that you would like to suggest, then, email me at PascoConnect@gmail.com and I'll put it out there. So, yeah. She said I paid the subscription, but I haven't logged. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well, yeah, we'll definitely get you logged back in tomorrow. I will definitely do that. I didn't know you were logged out of it. We'll figure it out for sure. I'll give you a call tomorrow and chat with you. All right, you guys. You all have a great evening. Thank you. See you all next Thursday. Good night.